Best opening ever. Hey guys, this is TheInfinityStorm, and welcome back to Retrospective. We have one new guest and one old guest. Introduce yourself, guests.
My name is Megamish, and I am, messing with my bird.
He's the new one. Pawl?
And I'm Mr. Swagtastic.
Mr. Swagtastic? You're a new Incredibles character.
This Mega Mace, you may remember us pulling a Mega Mace repeatedly in the last one. Well, this is him, the man who inspired that joke. Be proud, Mega Mace. You're famous enough that we get to make fun of you.
Well, that's not nice.
It's not nothing serious. Anyways, we're back for another one. This one is actually what I'm gonna call what if question. This time, last one was an unanswered question, which we came with the whole answer to. Actually, obviously.
What if Paul never speaks in this conversation like he does in a lot of conversations?
I had a comment for that, and then I just realized who was saying that. I'm sorry, that was me. Saying that was me, but you just blew my mind. Paul, Mega Mace has had to tell you to talk. That's like me telling somebody they're talking too much. But basically, the idea for this one
Did you just eat your mic?
I'm already entertained.
I hope you, Paul, you need that iPad for tomorrow. Or the day after tomorrow. I keep forgetting today's Saturday.
Yeah, but anyways, the idea for this...
That today was Sunday.
It's someday. Somewhere.
We got out on Friday early, so I was like, what's today?
See, you noobs still have school Mondays. I only have classes 2 days a week.
Yeah, but we're in Career Center.
I know. Anyways, here's the topic. Now that I can finally say it. This very barely and forcibly fits into a what if. What if an intern reminded Disney they haven't used half the movies they own yet in Kingdom Hearts? Basically, which movies should be included in the next Kingdom Hearts game? Like Disney has a moral obligation to include. I'm going to start off with... I talked to these guys a little bit about it, just so they get an idea for it. I'm going to name one movie that I personally feel like should have already been included by now. Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet!
Treasure.
Do you guys actually remember this movie? Mega Mace, you should, because you just looked it up to remind yourself.
Specifically, I remember one thing about it. McDonald's had some kind of little toy meal thing that went along with it. I was never able to collect all those pieces.
Oh, no.
I wanted to so badly.
I know, but basically, as far as, correct me if I'm wrong, but for what I've seen in the Kingdom Hearts series, there's really only been one, I guess, constant requirement for the games to be included as a normal stage. Obviously, like, Winnie the Pooh's didn't fit this, which made it more of a different stage, but for the ones that are normal, full-length stages, there has to be a definite antagonist.
Like Jafar.
Yeah, like, if you look at any of them, almost I want to say 80% of the time, they use that as a boss fight.
Yup.
I mean, obviously, like, I'm just going to go through Chain of Memories because I played that way too much and remember it very well. Not even just as the boss fight, but they play a definite role in that stage's plot. Like, for Wonderland, you have, what's it called? The Queen of... Technically, on Chain of Memories, she started a mini-boss fight.
Yeah.
The Red Queen.
And
that's
then
right,
it was
the
Aces
card.
or something.
Yeah,
I forget what
the cards, basically. Right? So even if they aren't the boss fight itself, they still play a major role in the plot up to it. Let's see what are the other ones. And the my favorite level, the Nightmare Before Christmas, you had Oogie Boogie, whatever his name was, something Boogie.
Boogie Boogie. The
boogeyman?
The weird sack made of bugs.
Yeah, there's that.
Wasn't he just the boogeyman?
I don't know, something like that.
No, it's Oogie Boogie.
Sounds so silly, but
remember, it's a Walt Disney movie. It has to be silly.
But if you think about it, almost every one of the movies that they've incorporated as a stage into Kingdom Hearts thus far has a definite antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really can only think of one, possibly two exceptions.
What?
The first one, obviously, is going to be the 100 Acre Woods one.
Yeah.
And then, just for the fact that I don't think there's a definite antagonist, really, the Monstro from Chain of Memories.
Monstro is in the first game, too. And in Birth by Sleep.
You see it, Paul Monstro as in the one from Pinocchio that ate Geppetto.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, that one, technically, it also doesn't have an antagonist, I don't think, just because, like, as far as what was included in the game, I don't think that chapter really had one of it either.
I'm trying to remember from the games. in Birth by Sleep, you fight Monstro in the remix version. You run around in Monstro in the first game.
Yeah, and in Chain of Memories, you're in him. And although technically he ate both of them, and they're not very happy about it, so I guess you could say that makes him somewhat of an antagonist.
Oh, in Birth by Sleep, you actually get to... Yeah, I think in Birth by Sleep, you also get to fight it. Monstro, too.
Alright, but you see the point is that the point being is they very rarely stray from this.
Yeah.
Alright? So, like, that's the main reason, like some people say, oh, put Cars or put Toy Story in. Those two would not work. For one, just logic would say that. And then secondly, there's not really a main antagonist. Like, for one, the Toy Story, like, it was still weird when they did the Little Mermaid, when they had to become a mermaid, but that's at least not too terrible, right? Shrinking them down to toy size and having them be perfectly okay with the fact that they are toys now, afraid of other humans, would not really work.
Actually, Ventus got shrink down to the size of a mouse in, which movie was it? Beauty and the Beast, or not Beauty and the Beast, but Cinderella.
Okay, but you see what I'm trying to say? On top of that, there's really only ever been 2 antagonists in Toy Story. And one of them's not really even an antagonist anymore because he's kind of irrelevant because he thought the toys revealed their life to him. There's that asshole kid from next to Andy, and then there's the collector. That's about it.
No, there's also...
You forgot about the weird Darth Vader ripoff.
Zurg?
Yeah. Zurg.
Yes, Michael, the Darth Vader ripoff. Get over it.
That's Michael's brother making a guest appearance.
That weird doll thing
Mega's brother making a guest appearance.
Jeez, Michael, get in the conversation.
Buzz Lightyear.
Mark, get over it! Play your game!
Mega's brother Michael makes an appearance. God, that was a tongue twister.
He's not making an appearance. He's interrupting.
But basically, see why that one really wouldn't work that well, all right?
No, Mike, you're not making an interference.
And also the fact that that it's always been a constant part of the Toy Story plot that they have to hide that they're alive also makes it weird. And then Cars wouldn't work at all. I mean, there's not an antagonist at all. There's a jerk, but there's not really an actual plot relevant antagonist.
The most that you would have for a Cars thing would be a race because in Kingdom Hearts you can actually turn the Keyblades into a type of vehicle.
Okay, I'm over here. I'm making an appearance.
Hi,
you're not making an appearance. You're making an interference. Now get out of here.
Michael, I'll let you be on the next one, all right?
That makes no sense. An appearance and an interference, that makes no sense.
There's a difference between an appearance and an interference. An appearance is just saying hi. An interference is you interrupting the whole conversation.
Michael, if you get me a Skype, I'll let you on the next one.
You're not hitting my foot with a mallet.
Are you hitting him with a mallet?
Basically, I have a rubber mallet on me at all times.
You should have a
It's
freaking...
my rubber mallet that he stole.
This is Grandpa's. What are you talking about?
My rubber mallet, not yours.
Oh, this is entertaining.
Michael?
Someone needs to make an animation of this.
Yes,
Go.
Paul, my thoughts exactly.
Go.
Basically, alright, anyways, Cars wouldn't work. I don't even think that would work as a minigame stage, just because the transition from man to living machine would make the other machines in the rest of the Kingdom Hearts universe seem really
No, he took my mallet!
You see what... Okay, I'll wait for this to resolve. But do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, bringing one set of machines to life would also... They would have to try to find some way to explain that the rest of the machines in that universe weren't alive.
Okay, I missed half the conversation because my brother was interrupting.
The main reason, like, even aside from the lack of a definite antagonist, Cars really wouldn't work just for the fact that they would having them learn that machines are alive, they would have to come up with some reason that every other machine in the Kingdom Hearts universe wasn't alive. Hiccup. Does that make sense?
Actually, I've been thinking about what you were just talking about with Cars. Technically, Donald's magic could technically turn him into Cars, but it'd be a very awkward situation.
Yeah, and then again, they'd have to explain how the other vehicles in the universe from the Kingdom Hearts aren't alive yet.
Is there any intel on what worlds are going to be in the third one yet?
I know that the Disney ride in Florida is going to be in it.
They could do a world transition type thing.
Yeah, the gummy ships were always the biggest pain if you're trying to get the expert ranking or whatever it was.
Like, they could take a Keyblade and he gets into a fight with one of the antagonists. The Keyblade breaks.
This sounds
Wait,
like a
what
lot.
Are we talking about? The Keyblade breaking?
This is his own idea.
The Keyblade breaks, shatters, goes into separate universes, and he traverses through each universe.
Mario logic.
Actually, the Keyblade does break at one point during Recoded.
I know, but this sounds so Mario-ish. I'm sorry, Paul. I'm just speaking without thinking. But that you reminded me of this video I saw. I'll have to show you guys later. But it was basically this guy, and you know what a filibuster is in legal terms, right? Where basically you try to make them quit by just not having, so they don't have to listen to you anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one guy, I don't even remember what the case was about, but for a filibuster, he went on his own to what he thought the next Star Wars movie should be. For like an hour.
Wow.
That reminded me of that for a sec. But anyways, right, so like back to ones, let's get back to this. Like, so I think Treasure Planet would be a good thing to conclude for a few reasons. For one, that was one of the better Disney movies. Back from before they were scared of offending people. Too much.
Yeah, but the second one sucked.
They made it too.
I never watched the second.
I never knew there was a second Treasure Planet. I remember there was an awesome PlayStation 1 game that I still have.
Actually, it was PS2.
There's a PS. I know there was a PS1 release too.
Yeah, that's had a few games they gave out during a McDonald's. What do you call it? I don't know what you call those. The
Happy Meal.
No, not the Happy Meals. It's like an advertising.
Promotion.
Yeah, promotions. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right, but Treasure Planet's one, just because the fact that the space thing would it make it easy enough to explain them how they got there on a ship. Like, we know, like the other ones, it's always awkward when they have to try to explain where their ship is.
Mm-hmm.
The gummy ship thing wouldn't be too foreign for that universe, because you remember, like, and also incorporating the Heartless wouldn't be too hard, because there's already really, like, even in my current mindset, several years after my little kid mind saw the movie, still seeming really bizarre seeming creatures in that universe to begin with. You know what I mean?
You can just add some of the creatures from Tron and it would probably look right.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's really bizarre creatures to begin with makes it easy enough to incorporate Heartless without it being too awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two definite antagonists that would work. Like, one would be, I could see being a perfect mini-boss. Remember that crab thing that was always hated the main guy? I think his name was Jack?
Don't have a clue because it's been forever.
Yeah, since you're not on screen, you should look it up. There was this red crab thing that was like, he looked like he was going to be the main villain, but it wasn't really.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. It was like his legs were like spider-like almost. It was an asshole, but point being is he would make a good mini boss. Remember there was that chef guy that had the robot eye thing, kind of fat.
Yeah.
That ended up being the main antagonist. That could be a good boss fight, or it's like have him come in to aid you in a boss fight against some giant heartless thing, like the whole change of heart thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that one I think would work really well.
Does anyone know the main plot to A Bug's Life?
Bug's Life was, I think I remember it. See, basis of it was that, I'm trying to remember.
They were trying to feed the grasshopper to keep themselves alive.
They had to bribe off They had to bribe off those grasshoppers, otherwise they'd live. And then Flynn, I actually remember his name, was the inventor who nobody believed in, and in the end they end up actually getting rid of the dependents for bribing and just fighting them off. And also the fake bird caused the biggest grasshopper to ultimately die because he didn't believe in a real bird. God, I remember that point-and-click game they had for that. That was amazing, too. Bug's Life would be an interesting one to include, too.
Yeah, but on a different list.
But the main plot was basically they're having to give up a ton of food that they would normally have to survive and to give to grasshoppers to keep the grasshoppers from killing them. And then basically they rose up against them after a while. And also Flint and them, I think it was some mishap with one of his machines, ended up getting sent to the city where like he met Francis and all those other bugs that weren't ants. Francis was awesome. Because all the crap he got for being a male ladybug.
Yeah.
But Bug's Life would work really well, and oh my god, I remember that surprisingly clearly.
I don't, because I never watched it
Just give me the benefit of the doubt. Alright, so, Paul, your turn. Can you think of a movie that they haven't included yet that would be good to?
Atlantis.
Oh my god.
Atlantis has already exists. It's The Little Mermaid.
No, the one I told you. Wait, do you mean that movie where they had like the weird necklace thing and everything like that? Like the one when they had the McDonald's toys, they had that weird necklace that would light up if you pressed the button on it.
With Milo and whatnot?
Yeah.
I heard a click.
I think he's talking about the one I told you about, Mega. Remember the Lost City thing?
The Lost Empire?
Yes, the Lost Empire. You actually, I don't know if you were listening earlier because that's one of the ones on my list actually. Just I don't remember that one very well at all, but it's still I can remember it like not in words, but I remember like the plot very vaguely. it was kind of the same kind of setup seen a lot of Disney movies, where basically they put together the quote dream team to try to get to some city of legendary wealth, and then one of them ends up being an asshole that betrays them.
Only it turned out to be all of them.
Yeah, I remember the bombs guy very well. It's like, what do you have? I've got a time bomb, 2 sticks of dynamite, and a handful of cherry bombs. And I remember there was one part like when they said when he was like, there's 3 times where he went to push, those little lever detonator things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember there was one part where like he had to stop. He was stopped 3 separate times or something when he was about to push it down to blow something up. He was getting really livid. It's like halfway down, stop. And it happened a few times. That's a good one. Let's see. I guess we should just like rotate for now to see until we start having trouble with this. Let's see what else I have. I have the list on my phone because I'm that much of a nerd.
I remember Lilo and Stitch.
Damn it, you stole mine.
Lilo and Stitch already exists in the Kingdom Hearts universe. It's in Birth by Sleep.
Okay, so thank you for pointing out for not stealing mine. Because I totally knew that.
Of classic Disney movies and stuff.
All right, here's one that honestly I don't know. Correct me if they put this one in. I haven't played too many of the recent ones, but I'm gonna go by faith that my friend at least college wasn't lying. Monsters Inc.
And I don't know how that would work. I really don't.
The art style would be weird. I'll give you that. Let me think, because it depends on what point in it you have it happen. Like if you had it kind of start towards the beginning of the plot, there would be the antagonists.
Because near the end of that movie, you'd probably have to fight the weird spider freak guy. What was his name?
Oh my god, I remember. It's like right here. Start with a W, I think.
Can't remember. Completely gone. I know a mini boss would be that weird lizard thing.
Yeah, the chameleon lizard guy that was a total jerk and ended up getting killed in Louisiana or something that they never really named.
No, he just gets sent there.
And it's like, Mom, another gator got in the house.
Oh yeah, I remember. It wasn't a house; it was a trailer.
And and also I remember that part where they're just going through door after door after door, like all over the world. I loved that part as a kid.
That'd be how they get in there.
Yeah.
Like one of the bosses goes through a door, and then you have to follow him through.
Yeah, I could see the potential.
Either follow through, you have to anticipate which door he's going to come out of.
Yeah, as you could see, that it'd be an interesting boss fight mechanic. See, in the Heartless again, that'd be easy to incorporate Heartless because it's Monsters universe.
Mm-hmm.
You could have like I guess some sort of setup like where they don't realize the threat of the Heartless at first.
Yeah.
They just try to scare him.
It could be like what do you call it, Nightmare Before Christmas, where they just took them over and used them as their own until they went berserk.
Yeah. Would not even ever realizing that it's actually dangerous and not a toy.
Mm-hmm.
You could have the crew. I want to see how they would incorporate that crew. Remember, P23, that poor orange. And at the end, remember, P23. This little guy tried to point out. We grabbed him, threw the socks off, threw him in the door, and walked off. That one would be. It might be difficult, but if they could pull it off, it would be amazing. Because there's like the mechanic, like you said, like I never even thought about the multiple doors thing could be a great boss fight mechanic. I don't want to look it up, but I'm seriously like my mind is snagged on not being able to remember the spider thing's name.
I'll look that up. You do whatever, and I just Fantasia. What is Fantasia?
I don't know. Sully would be easy enough to incorporate.
Fantasia is that classic Disney movie with where Mickey learns
magic. Yeah, I know. It's basically
Hey, get it right.
Whatever, Michael. Do you want to eat this quarter?
Quarterback.
No, quarter. He has a bad experience with me in quarters.
Anyways, what's next?
That's a
what else was I going to say? The boss character would be interesting. Like that would be really cool to do, especially because the art style. It'd be difficult, but they've worked with worse art styles.
Hit me from there.
Slingshot, 360 no scope and Mega.
Oh, a Rubik's Cube, yeah.
You think I can't hit you with an Rubik's Cube?
What? It sounds like me and my brother getting into an argument.
Okay, I got a better one, Michael.
Okay, what's it? Monsters Inc. What else was there was something else I was gonna say, and then the amazingly entertaining argument distracted me. Let me think. What was it? Oh yeah, Sully would be really easy to have as a ally for that chapter. And my cat is just freaking out downstairs.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look. Franklin. I can't remember the name of that stupid.
I can hear it in my head, like how it would sound. I could try to rhyme with it, but I can't remember it. But
Monster Inc. characters. Here we go.
Sully would be a good ally, like that you could swap out for that chapter too.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. I remember him.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. Kitty.
Okay, here we go.
You remember the part where they were freaking out and he sprayed himself in the eye with the cologne?
Randall is the lizard.
Randall.
I remember
Randall Boggs.
Put that kid back where it came from. So help me.
Giant blue furry monster.
That's Sully.
And here we go. Henry J. Waternoose.
Waternoose, thank you. That movie it'd be difficult for them to pull off, but if they did, it would undoubtedly be amazing. I think.
Who was the slug chick?
The slug chick.
Yeah.
I'll find that.
Oh, it was something. It was out there started with a G or an H.
Here we go. Roz.
Wow, I was off.
I thought it was like Gertrude or something.
I know.
Gertrude.
Some stereotypical old lady name.
I forget the movie.
Alright, but you see how that one works. And Solo would be easy enough to incorporate as the ally for that chapter. They've done big, powerful, but I guess you could make him kind of slowish. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good thing. And maybe have Mike just be a plot character, because he never really was much for fighting, and he was kind of weak. Alright, see, Megan, I think that makes it your turn.
Huh? What?
I guess for now, like, since it's working, we'll just, like, rotate for it with the movie until we start having trouble.
This is actually a tough one, because I've been looking around different things, and then I mentioned the Bugs Life thing.
It's cold outside, yeah.
And my brother's, like, shouting across the room.
He's got lungs of steel.
Did they incorporate
No, he does not have lungs of steel.
Wait, what was that, Paul?
Actually, you said Peter Pan.
Yeah, they've done Peter Pan, definitely.
Okay.
That's been overdone at some point.
Yeah, actually, Mega Mace, I guess we'll count Bugs Life since you brought that up. Paul, can you think of one?
We could go with The Incredibles, because were we talking about that on here?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it before this. That would be easy enough to do. And also, it would be interesting. Like, I know they usually only give you one person to swap with.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be kind of cool to see one, I think, like, where you could pick, like, each of them have their own strengths and weaknesses. Like, you could work that out. Like, let's, like, you make the Mr. Incredible. This is kind of my fallback for really powerful guys. You just make them slow, but I guess either in short bursts or easily vulnerable, I guess, or something. See what I mean? Because I don't want to give him the Superman complex where he just gets everything. But let's see, like Violet would be good for if you just wanted to go straight through an area and not fight anything. Actually, well, no, Violet would be the defensive one. I guess like having.
No, she can turn invisible and make barriers.
Yeah, the reason I said go straight through everything because of Max, or whatever his name was.
Dash.
Dash, thank you. They named him Dash? I forgot him.
Yeah.
I forgot that they did something that obvious.
Yeah, because he runs fast or whatever.
I know, I can't think they did something that obvious. Alright. And whoever the last Mrs. Incredible or who was Elastigirl, you could have her just like having her in addition to her strengths gives you slightly better range or something. I don't know, it's a long shot, but I think it'll be cool that you could have more options to choose from.
She's like a utility kit. She could turn into a parachute and whatnot.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah, I remember at the end of the movie where she was holding up an entire freaking mobile home or whatever?
I don't know, something.
It's something very heavy.
I'm trying to remember. Is Harry Potter in Disney?
No,
No?
Harry Potter's Universal. They have it at the park.
Okay.
But yeah, Star Wars, I honestly don't want them to do that because they'll ruin it so badly.
Oh, it's gonna happen, and you already know it.
Oh, I'm dreading it. Curse on you.
It just depends on how they produce stuff.
But The Incredibles would be good enough to do, because as far as like how the Heartless would be introduced, you could have it as Sinestro tried to control him, and like his robots, they turned on him.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really easy to incorporate. Now, also, while I don't know that they would do it, just for the fact that it would be too I guess abrupt transition from it being one character, because not every world had a character, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? Like I know that for a fact Wonderland didn't.
What else could they?
Alright, Paul, I'm going to count the Star Wars for you, but as far as the Heartless being incorporated, that would be good enough. As far as boss mechanics, you could have the robot thing be a mini-boss. Oh, wait, no, they would have to incorporate the baby somehow. The baby was awesome.
The baby just had a bunch of powers.
He just could change his form. Like, it was hilarious to me. And remember the capes thing? No capes. And it showed, like, that superhero at the beginning of the movie getting sucked into a plane, and Sinestro did the same thing. Mega, you alright?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to read up on what's currently available on the forums for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Alright, I know they were gonna have to put up in Pirates of the Caribbean is confirmed already.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting to see, especially because I'm curious of which one they're gonna base it on. Obviously, they're probably gonna do the first one. But how they do that, the graphics is what's gonna interest me. Because, like, remember the old Game Boy Advance game that wasn't really relevant to the first movie at all?
Mm-hmm.
Where it was back when you had to use passwords to start it up. If anybody remembers those days.
I remember those days.
That game, like, wasn't really I'm giving that's GBA, so graphics have improved just a bit since then.
Mm-hmm.
But that's gonna be interesting to see how they pull that off. I'm looking forward to that.
I just remembered that Sora did find Master Something's blade. What was that blade called? Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. What's his face? Ericus. That's his name.
Which one? Which movie?
It's not a movie. It's in the Kingdom Hearts universe itself. I keep forgetting that Sora finds Master Ericus's blade on Destiny Island.
Yeah. But Paul, I'm gonna count the Star Wars thing. I don't want to talk about that because I'm dreading it. Disney's movies as of late have been very lackluster in quality.
You know what's gonna happen though.
I'm praying to Arceus that you're wrong. Yes, I just said that. I'm that much of a nerd. I'm going to that level of nerddom and hoping it doesn't happen.
Oh yeah. Since 2.5's coming out, they're adding what do you call it? The words I can't even speak. Since they're making the 2.5 remix, that means the Birth by Sleep remix is coming in it. I'll be able to fight Master Ericus's armor.
Nice. Also, here, I guess it's my turn since he mentioned that dreaded Star Wars possibility, and you did Bug's Life and The Incredibles.
Mm-hmm.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That's already been done.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you told me that before already. Frick, I forgot that quickly. Okay, I'm going to go with one of two. Let's think. I don't have a coin to flip or I do it.
I got a coin.
Alright, I'm calling it heads.
Okay.
Heads, it's the first one, tails, it's the second.
It's heads.
Alright, 101 Dalmatians. I know they've had
that in the first game.
I know they had the Dalmatians in there, but they never actually gave them a level, which you could actually use to your advantage. Alright?
How would that work? I don't... what's her name? I forget what...
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
Although, truth be told, I never got the morals of that. And like once you get past the little kid mindset of she's evil. Because we do stuff that's worse in real life.
If they can add Sora being a lion in The Lion King, I'm sure they can add him as a dog and Dalmatians.
Yeah. Or even just as a human, because the humans actually played a little bit of a role.
That would be much of a stretch.
Or you could just keep him as a human just for the fact that there are still humans in that universe, other than the villain.
Yeah.
You remember that? I'm sitting here like all of a sudden I'm remembering that PlayStation 1 game. Remember and you know what the mini boss would be for that game? Remember the dog catchers?
Yes, I do remember.
I remember did you ever do the PlayStation 1 game where like every so often you get the pleasure of getting rid of them with some level mechanic? Like like you had the first level, you actually got the tall one with making him hit a bee's nest. And then in the city level, you got rid of the fat one by making him run over a manhole, and with the stupid cartoon gravity physics where it doesn't affect you till you look down.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite part of that game, just dealing with them. And then you had that weird guy with the accent that never made sense whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But those would definitely be a good mini-boss. Although that would only really work, I guess, unless they did like what they did with the Tarzan on 1, where they gave just the guy some unexplained power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see what you would mean though. That it might be only a understandable mini boss, if they gave him either if you were a dog or they just buffed them with the power of the Heartless. See what I mean? Because in reality, against the one overweight and one really dumb, well, both are dumb, but one I'm gonna say that just so the fact that it doesn't seem like there's nothing bad about the other. One overweight and then one just stupid dog catcher pair. wouldn't be the most threatening person to a overpowered tank with a shield and a gauntlet, a guy with a magical sword, and then a guy with magic.
Yeah.
You see how that might be a little unfair.
Paul, you've been quiet. You need to speak. Paul, are you alive?
Yes.
Okay.
He brought up the Star Wars thing and then vanished just to mess with me.
No, I'm just looking for something. I'm not sure if it's a Disney movie.
Alright, but you see how that one would be interesting. Like, the dogs thing would work, and also, it would take some concept working, because, just if you wanted to use those as a mini-boss, which you would think they would logically do.
Mm-hmm.
And not every chapter had a mini-boss, did it?
I can't remember.
Well, I know for a fact that not everyone, because there's the poo one. But obviously that's not what I mean. I'm trying to think. Even if you just use Chain of Memories as a reference, let me think.
I want to play Chain of Memories now.
The card thing was interesting. You remember the raid moves from that? They need to put that in the normal, like the console games. Those were fun. The ones where you threw, the combo was usually was like a magic and then 2 Keyblade cards, and you would just throw the thing. It was like the best way to get rid of those fat guys.
I can't remember.
But they do not need to put Tornado in, because that was too overpowered. Because you remember, just kill everything immediately.
Yeah.
There's gravity, an arrow, gravity, and then a summon card. They need to ban. Oh, I don't want to steal. Damn it! I stole some. Just gave that away. I think it's Mega's turn now.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a thing.
What's a thing?
Trying to go to me for classic Disney movies. The kid that never watched
rotation right
movies.
Now. At least that's how we've been doing it.
What about the new ones like Frozen or Epic? I think Epic.
I don't know. They'd like to seem to stick to classic ones.
Well, they went to Pirates of the Caribbean. That's not exactly classic.
I know, but every single time I make up a rule, just assume there's at least 2 exceptions to disprove me. Like, that's the whole reason I ditched more than there was one prerequisite to be included, because there were so many movies that they didn't actually utilize the... Like, before this time I tried doing this, when I was going through these in my head, I was thinking, they like to stick cartoonish. No, they don't. They've included Tron Legacy, and they're going to include pirates. But for the most part... They've
already included pirates.
But for the overwhelming majority of it, they seem to stick to older movies, just for the fact that it's easier to do.
So, have you guys seen My Neighbor Totoro? What? Apparently, that's a Disney movie.
Oh. I have 2
My Neighbor what?
I've got 2 on my list, by the way, that left. Oh,
My
no,
Neighbor
one.
Totoro.
Never mind. I forgot it again. They've already done The Hunchback.
That's a Disney movie?
Wait, what?
I know, right?
And also, how?
Paul, if you guys don't have another one, I'm gonna name one right now. I've already talked to Megabase. This would be really iffy, but I still want to see it. Paul, you're gonna love me for this idea. The Emperor's New Groove. You remember that?
What's going to be the plot? Prevent the llama from getting poisoned?
There's no plot to the
Technically,
movie.
the original The Emperor's New Groove was actually had a plot.
Yeah.
Also, did they ever actually give Cinderella a level?
Yes, in Birth by Sleep.
Okay, I haven't played Birth by Sleep, so you're gonna have to help fill me in with those if it comes up. But
just name off movies that you think that aren't in it, and I'll tell you.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm also just gonna do it as I come up with them, because otherwise I'll look like an idiot all at once.
Well, then don't say Sleeping Beauty. It's been done too.
I know that was in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories even.
Bruh.
That was the hardest chapter in my opinion until you got to the very end.
Sleeping Beauty?
You played that one. That's when they introduced all the jerk enemies that took forever to kill, and you barely ever got the beast.
I don't think Sleeping Beauty was in Birth by Sleep.
What was it? The freaking chapel.
Sleeping Beauty is with Aurora.
Well, they had whichever one. Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Never mind. I'm getting my stuff mixed up. Sorry.
That's with Belle.
Sorry. That's the second time I've looked like an idiot. Somebody's gonna make a drinking game out of this. No, they won't. I don't really have that big of an audience, but
words.
Let's think. What was the other one? The Emperor's New Groove, though. Given you wouldn't have much plot, but think about it. The normal one didn't really have much plot either.
No, I think you're talking about Emperor's New School. Emperor's New Groove was an actual
let's
movie.
put this. It didn't have very much of a climactic plot, like not a very serious one. See what I mean? And like the
During
movie,
the
the mood wasn't as serious as like any of the other ones you suggested. You know what I mean? Like it was more so like I guess a coming of, I guess a change in perspective for him instead of words. How do I use them?
The Emperor's New Groove, Cusco gets turned into a llama and throw down a waterfall, and he has to get back his kingdom from whatever her face is.
I know. I mean, it's not a very unique original plot as far as Disney goes, but I mean, as far as that idea. But the fact that the movie itself was a lot more comedy, feeling instead of comedy feeling.
Agrabah, Genie made the most hilarious commentator.
Did they actually have Robin Williams doing it for the games?
It was the most hilarious thing ever.
Robin Williams is hilarious, man.
You got 2 wishes left.
Have you seen any of his? Have you seen Good Morning Vietnam?
Nope.
That movie it's Robin Williams starring in it. It's amazing. Very language filled, but it's hilarious, especially because it's based off something that actually was fairly real happened. I think. That's another discussion, anyways.
Paul, where did you say that the My Neighbor Totoro was a Disney movie?
Disney.
Isn't it a Disney movie?
Also, I know that this is what I'm about to say. Sorry.
The film was released by Disney in 2006.
The Emperor's New Groove. Just in short, if you wanted to, it wouldn't be a normal level. Like I think that's what you said earlier, Mega.
How would you know that, Michael?
Because I've seen most of his movies.
He remembers the directors. I barely even remember the companies.
My brother knowing. What do you call him?
Haruno Miyagase.
Good job, Michael. I don't even remember the companies half the time.
My Neighbor Totoro had the most amazing director ever. He did Spirited Away and whatnot.
Yeah.
Totoro Miyarashi.
Do we say? Well, Mega, I guess if you can remember any of the things we talked earlier about, I have one in my head. I don't think we talked about yet, and then one that I don't know what to think. Did they already incorporate Tarzan too?
Michael, I'm genuinely shocked. You barely remember what you had for dinner last night.
We're shocked in the good way, Mike. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we're shocked in the good way.
I'm shocked. I am genuinely shocked.
I'm not. Amazing director.
Make your brother a Skype and give it to me. After this, dude, does Michael have a Skype? And if not, make him one and give it to me afterwards. I'm putting it on these.
Chicken tenders.
What kind of chicken tenders?
Crispy.
I don't think they were fried, Michael.
We're talking about food. You're making me hungry. Besides, there's only a few movies left that I can think of. If Emperor's New Groove would be difficult to do as a normal level, but I think you said this when we were talking about beforehand. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do practice a little bit just so we can make sure we can actually talk about this and not look too idiotic. In my case,
I like to look idiotic,
but I'm the one uploading this.
You might. What's the Disney movie you're talking about?
Emperor's New Groove, like you said, that would be good to do as a special kind of level, like they did for 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah,
because that was a hilarious movie. I just wish Disney had the rights to Road to El Dorado, because that would be so awesome and easy to incorporate.
Road to El Dorado?
You never saw that?
Nope.
Oh my, Paul, please tell me you did.
My childhood was in a different house.
Paul, please tell me you saw that movie.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
Yeah, the one where they're
the Spanish
trying
guys?
to get that Spanish treasure or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the guy just opens with the guys winning a bunch of money gambling loaded dice. It was it's unfortunately a DreamWorks movie.
But My Road to El Dorado.
No, the road.
Oh, The Road to El Dorado.
Wait, isn't DreamWorks owned by Disney?
I don't think so. I think DreamWorks is separate. Because otherwise you'd see Shrek. Because Shrek, you don't I've been to Universal at the park a few times, and I'm pretty sure that's what. Since you see Shrek themed stuff there, I'm pretty sure that means that Universal owns DreamWorks, and Universal and Disney are pretty separate.
The only thing Disney had to do with The Road to El Dorado is their the music team made it.
Yeah. So I guess technically they could try to base it off of that, but they would be so easy. Paul, you remember all you would have to do literally is remember that weird creature thing that the shaman who knew that they weren't gods created that tried to kill them?
It's been forever since I saw that.
But you remember the shaman dude, right? The only person who didn't think that those two guys were gods?
Yeah.
And how he had some creature try to kill them, I think. I think it was some bug-like thing. Just replace that with a Heartless, basically, is all you'd have to do.
I didn't know that wasn't a Disney movie.
No,
I have the classic children's book of that.
I think that it's a. I'm pretty. I remember we had the same conversation with a friend who actually inspired the idea for this as a topic. Who like I bet him $1 that it was Disney, and he looked it up and it was DreamWorks. I forgot that he had Wi-Fi.
Oh, Pawl, Spirits, DreamWorks too.
Yeah. What else? Let's see. Do I have anything else on my list?
I'm actually gonna look that up. Does Disney own DreamWorks?
But oh yeah, Who said Pocahontas earlier? I'm not gonna steal the.
I did.
That would be good enough to do. It might feel a little tiny bit like the Tarzan. Actually, no. Jungle Book would feel like Tarzan. Never mind what I just said.
Jungle Book and Tarzan have almost the same plot.
Yeah, pretty much. The only difference is the age at which they show him as a character.
And one's raised by a bear, the other one's raised by gorillas.
It was found 19 years ago. Why can't I find anything on it?
You know, you could. The Wikipedia does have the DreamWorks endorsed thing on there, right?
Oh, here we go. DreamWorks films are marketed and distributed by the Walt Disney Studios.
You're kidding me. So that guy owes me $1. Disney, include this movie now.
The company founded following whatever resignation, the Walt Disney Company in 19-something.
So Disney technically should have rights to that then. Wait, I'm confused now. Then why the heck is Universal have the rights, have everything with Shrek and everything if that's the DreamWorks one too? I mean, I know Pixar was affiliated with them pretty heavily because you remember that little lamp thing from the Bugs Life beginning. Does anybody else remember that? Like the beginning of Bugs Life, you had the little lamp come up and start jumping on the eye until he squished it.
So yeah, they're distributed by Walt Disney.
So I guess you could say they have the rights to it to an extent then.
To an extent, they'd still have to get permission.
But it would be amazing to see that. Megamates, you have to go and watch that movie after this is over. You're obligated to do so.
I was gonna go and watch what would I say? My Neighbor, the Words.
El Dorado is an amazing movie. Ask Michael if he remembers it.
Tortura, whatever, Michael.
Here, no, wait, don't get mad because I need you to ask him something for confirmation. Ask him if he has seen The Road to El Dorado. Ask him if your brother saw The Road to El Dorado.
Michael, did you watch The Road to El Dorado?
Yeah, I have. Why?
Yes.
Tell him that you haven't seen it.
Michael, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Wasn't that movie amazing?
Wasn't that movie amazing?
It was alright.
It was alright.
For a kid's movie that cussed, it was amazing to me.
My Neighbor Torturini.
That was back when companies didn't care too much about cussing one time in a kids movie.
I can get my brother all the salties now.
We need to include him in one of these videos at some point.
Oh, he's already been in it. He's interrupted it.
I mean, as an actual feature. Without the background, not being in the background for you. I'm trying to think, Pocahontas is the only one left that they talk about, really, I think. Well, you said something involving Tarzan too, didn't you?
No, you mentioned it before.
Okay, I thought they could have sworn you said that was in the same boat as Notre Dame. But basically, you know how in when they had it was one point. Which one was it where you played as Mickey whenever you died?
Second game.
All right, but remember how in there that when you're playing through the Mulan level, Mushu references helping them before the little red dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, remember Mushu, that little red dragon that talked all kinds of smack even though he never did crap.
First game.
Paul, you remember Mushu, right? You're being really quiet.
He died. Great.
He died. What was it? Was it Mr. Was it?
I goof.
Oh, was it? Dang it! Way to cut off my clue joke. Let's see. Was it Professor Plum in the library with the candlestick?
I might have to go and invade Paul's house and see what's in his fridge.
No.
Can you come pick me up? Anyways, but with Pocahontas, well, which one do you want to do first? Tarzan 2 or Pocahontas?
I don't really know much about either of them, so...
Tarzan 2, all I remember, Fred, is that he was, civilized at that point. But then something, I think it was, I'm going to assume that it was kind of like you would expect, something happens back where he was in the first movie.
I think what's-his-name dies in Kingdom Hearts, so I don't think that would be able
to... Clay?
Yeah, Clayton.
I don't know if he was relevant to the plot in the second one either. I didn't really see too much. All I know is that he was civilized, and if you use that, they like to reference, past involvement in the series. At least that's what Square Enix seems to like to do.
I think Tarzan 2's about his past.
Oh, never mind then.
I don't think you'd be able to incorporate that.
Scratch that. Okay, that's the only.
Thing.
It's amazing we got this long into a video without me coming up with one that hasn't been done but shouldn't.
Yeah, I think it's about Tarzan's very first
Because
whenever.
It's not his childhood because they showed that pretty in depth in the first one. But let me think. What was the other one I said? Pocahontas. I vaguely remember the movie. It was very racist.
That was the whole plot of the movie.
It was.
I remember the raccoon. The raccoon was awesome.
Yes.
And there was a second movie to it.
Again, there's so many movies you guys told me there's sequels to that I never even saw or heard of.
Oh wait, wow. Never mind. The wiki's about an actual woman named Pocahontas.
Duh. See, now I'm not
Pocahontas, Colors of the Wind. That's it.
But see, Pocahontas.
Oh wait, I think that's the name
would be easy enough to do. My only concern is that the whole. But god damn it, why does the person that never texts me back have to text me while recording? And also have to be nice enough. Let's just say enough of aesthetically pleasing lady friend that I can't get pissed at her.
Oh, here we go. Pocahontas Disney.
Yeah, I don't think they've incorporated that yet. Again, the art style would be interesting, especially with aren't they going to make the newer one where the art style that you see for Sora and the gang is kind of more it'll change based on which stage you're in, or something like that.
I'm not sure.
I remember hearing something like they would change the art style by a level. You know how on the other ones they kind of forced every level to fit as general.
That was in the second game. Everything turned black and white during when they go to the Cornerstone of Light.
No, I'm just talking about in general. Even on the first one, where they would change. They would have the exact same characters and looks and stuff, but except they would kind of force it to fit the same general kind of graphics for the whole game ran on.
That was only really for
I can name Alice in Wonderland.
No.
Alice in Wonderland definitely looked different. The Tarzan colors in the movie look brighter than they did in the game. At least that's what I think.
Oh, are you talking about forcing the change on the environment?
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Oh.
I mean, they did change the characters. I remember the best one was, again, Nightmare Before Christmas level. Best one ever.
Ouch.
Did they do that, I don't think they did that in too many levels, did they? I know they had to in, My Little Mermaid level. My Little Mermaid, no, it's the Little Mermaid. I just crossed Little Mermaid and ponies, apparently.
And they've already done both movies, so you can't really do another one.
They should do Nightmare Before Christmas again, just because it was such an awesome level.
They did both of them.
Chain of Memories, Jack was the best assist ever.
I never tried to use the character.
All he did was basically what Donald... Well, he basically did Donald, except he could also do Gravity. He's basically like Genie, except he only did stuff once, I think. Did Genie do 2 things by default?
I don't know.
Anyways, that game was interesting, although, the thing I don't like is, the opening for 1.5 or whatever is the exact... They pretty much use the exact same opening from one of the console games on there and changed one detail.
They have updated graphics.
I do like that they reference Castle Oblivion in 1.5.
Well, yeah, Castle Oblivion is in 1.5. It's Chain of Memories.
I know. Wait, which one of those predates the other?
What do you mean?
Which one of the Chain of Memories or 1.5? Which came out first?
The 1.5 remix technically came out first.
All right.
But then no. Are you talking about just the game bundle itself, or are you talking about
the games that which one was released first?
It goes in this order. If you're talking about release date, it goes Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories for the Game Boy Advance.
Right. That's what I want to know. Chain of Hearts. God, why can't I talk today? Paul, I blame you.
He's gone.
Why do you blame me?
Because you're not talking. I can't say Paul to Mega Maze because he's here, so I just said it without saying it.
Well, I have a question for you. Do you know what Castle Oblivion was before it was Castle Oblivion?
Very vaguely, and pretty much means not at all.
It was the land of departure in Birth by Sleep.
Alright.
That was where Ventus, Aqua, and Terra lived.
Alright. I actually never finished Chain of Memories. I just got stuck on that boss fight with that ice chick just because she made it where you couldn't freaking move, and I never realized you could jump. I knew how to jump. I forgot to jump over it. And also the fact that she had the shield pretty much made her invulnerable from the front was annoying too.
The shield girl is someone else. Or the shield is a different guy.
You get my point, though. That fight was a pain. That would make me never finish it.
The only woman I can think of on
the blonde chick,
the Organization 13 is Lightning.
Like the blonde chick with the pigtails, I think. What was she?
Lightning.
No. That was Lightning. I'm thinking the orange-haired one.
Orange hair.
Oh god, I think it's about to show that it's about time to finish because I'm getting everything mixed up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna link these guys. I'm gonna link Mega Mace's Twitch channel in the description because that's one of the rules of this. Is when anybody who's on here has any sort of YouTube or Twitch, I will link in the description. I'm actually a moderator at Mega Mace's stream, so you usually see me there, even if I just pop in for a bit and go AFK because I'm playing Binding of Isaac, unlike somebody.
Yeah, because
of reasons.
Yep.
If any of you get that joke, you are awesome. Paul probably didn't.
Paul's too asleep.
Reasons is our intel guy. Wait,
Paul.
Anyways, I guess. Do you guys want to do a? You guys see this is Mega Mace with the
Stop.
Paul who was like possessed by the former Mega Mace.
Yep.
And then me, the InfinityStorm.
Yeah,
that was the best opening ever. Anyways, this has been Retrospective. We had this talk about Kingdom Hearts. Disney, if you see this, get on this now. Or we shall send Paul to go after you. He'll just stare at you and not say a word.
Uno,
Mr.
dos,
Sarcastic
tres.
signing out.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hoping to do another. We're gonna end up doing a take 2 of this because some friends really wanted to be in this but couldn't make it. And also, the second I quit recording, one of us at some point is going to remember something we should have brought up.
I remember everything.
Anyways, that was a long sign up. See you guys next